Hello everyone, and welcome to this tutorial on how to set up Euroscope as an observer on the Vatsim network. The first thing we're going to need is to download Euroscope. For this we're going to use the newest beta release. So you can go ahead and click that here, and click on the newest beta. I will also link this in the description, but just be aware if you're watching this video quite far in the future, then obviously it will probably be a new release. Then click download and follow the download instructions. Once that's downloaded, you also want to come over to the UK controller plugin if your division is the UK. If you're controlling in the US or anywhere else, you also want to get your plugin. So if you're in the US, it'll probably be US controller plugin, and so on. And then also download this file here. I'll also leave a link to this in the description. The next thing you're going to need is to go over to a kind of tracking website for Vatsim. So I use Vatastic. It's a free website, and you can see all the ATC and pilots that are currently online on the Vatsim network. Here we can see 2 airports in the UK. We can see 3 airports in the UK that we might be interested in observing. So for that, we can have a look at Manchester, which has 15 departures, so it's not massively busy. It won't be ATC at the time, there will be mic silence, so it's good for if you're just starting off observing. You'll be able to kind of keep track of everything that's going on. As you can see, there is a ground controller, but there is currently only 3 aircraft on the ground, so maybe that's not the best thing to observe. We've also got Heathrow. Heathrow only has ground on at the moment and has 14 departures, but again only has 6 aircraft on the ground, so maybe that's not the best thing to observe. However, Gatwick has 46 departures and a ground controller. As you can see, there's a lot of aircraft on the ground, so this is going to be the airport we're going to be observing today. Please keep in mind though that if you're actually doing training in the UK and you want to control at Gatwick, you do need additional training to control at Gatwick due to the amount of arrivals and departures and traffic that they receive. So let's go ahead and get this set up now. So what we're going to do is go to your download location for the beta version of Euroscope, which for me is Documents, Euroscope Beta, and then find this Euroscope here and open it. First thing you'll be greeted with is an open profile file, which we can close for now. As you can see, it opens like this. First thing we need to do is get our UK controller pack loaded into Euroscope. So go to Other Set here at the top, click on Plugins, click on Load, and locate the UK controller plugin. For me, that is Documents, Euroscope, UK controller plugin, double click. As you can see, that then appears. For the first time that you're doing this, you will need a plugin key so it knows who's connecting. I'll leave a link to receive that key in the description. Now we can click close, and we can connect to the Vatsim network. So on here, we want to put in our call sign, because we're observing, that's going to be our initials, _ OBS for observer. Then we're going to put in our server, the one closest to you. However, don't connect to Sweatbox, because that's used for training purposes. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so we're going to click UK as our server. Then under real name, you can either put your real name, or you can put your certificate, which is the number you're given to identify yourself on Vatsim. For now, I'll be using my certificate. If you use your real name, you then also need to put in your certificate here. You need to do both anyway. You also need to put your certificate in here, in the certificate section, and then enter your Vatsim password. Once you've done that, click Connect. From there, you'll get a voice communication setup, which we're going to close for now, because we don't need that. Next thing we're going to need is to actually install a new software, which is called Audio for Vatsim. Click on Audio for Vatsim at the top. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. and then you want to download this. Then go to your search bar on Windows 11. That will be located here by the magnifying glass. On Windows 10, there will be the little Windows icon down here in the bottom left. Once you've located your search bar, I'm going to type in audio for Vatsim, and it will come up here. Click on that, and then allow it permission to access files and change your device and things like that. You do need to do that every time you load up audio for Vatsim. I'm going to leave that down there for now, just so we know it's there. The next thing we're going to do is connect our airport. So we're going to go open sector, then load sector file. Then we want to locate our euroscope folder. So for me that's documents, euroscope. Then we're going to click UK. That comes with the UK controller pack. You can also use the UK controller pack here. And then UK, it does the exact same thing. I've just got a shortcut here. Then go to data, and then sector. On the newest one, the one that's current, one at the time of recording, there's two sectors. One is for May, that's why it says 2205. One is for June, 2206. So I'm going to click on the newest one, which is June. As you'll see, nothing really happened. It takes a minute to load, and you'll see that nothing still happens. However, if we zoom out, you'll start to see some things show up. If we use the right mouse button, hold that down, and then move our mouse, we can drag around the screen. Then we can zoom in, and you'll start to see we have the whole of the UK as a sector. From there, we're going to select our airport. So go to open sector, open, locate your euroscope folder. So for me that's documents, euroscope, UK, data. Then you want to click ASR, and then locate your airport of choice. For today we're going to be using Gatwick. However, if you're doing something like Stansted, I've seen this question asked quite a bit on forums. If you want to locate Stansted, you need to go to Essex and then Stansted. But for now we're going to be using Gatwick, so we're going to click Gatwick. Then we've got different things here, but we're going to click Gatwick SMR for the ground. And then be greeted with this. You may notice that it's actually upside down at the moment. And you may also notice that none of this has changed, whereas it should change with the UK controller pack, and you should also have the controller pack options down here. So this is where it does get kind of annoying. We actually need to close down Euroscope. We're going to click close. Then are you sure to exit? Yes. Then click no to automatically log the session data, and then click cancel all. Do you see? It's now closed. Then locate your search bar again, type in Euroscope, and run Euroscope. This time when it says open profile file, you want to find your profile file that you want to load. So for me that's documents, Euroscope, UK. This time you don't need to select data, you need to select your airport. So if you want to go Stansted, that'll just be Essex. If you want to go Gatwick, that'll be Gatwick. Obviously Heathrow, and so on. I'm going to select Gatwick, and then the Gatwick SMR. Then it will say there's an updated version. Click yes. Do you want to use this new sector file? Yes. Shall I delete the old sector file? Yes. Wait for that to load. As you'll see, I've already got Gatwick loaded because we've just selected that in the options there. Also, as you'll see, there's an OP button here, which allows us to configure options for the UK controller pack. There's many things in there, have a play around with them, make Euroscope your own basically, and just customize it. So now we're in here, we can see some other things have shown up. They might not be in the same position as mine, but you can move it around and put it in whatever position you want, just like so. So you see we have an arrivals list, departures list, also get the meta, which is kind of like ATIS, go around. I'm not really sure what that's for, but it's standard in UK controller pack, so I'm just going to leave it there. And some other things up here. So I want to make sure that our runways are selected. To go to the runways, go down to Gatwick, make sure they're selected, which they are. Then want to connect to Vatsim, so go ahead and click connect. And I'm going to fill this in again. There we go, and then click connect. From there, it will ask for voice communication setup again, but we want to click cancel. Straight away, you'll see some things are happening. We've got a list here growing, full of more and more aircraft, and we've also got our meta available. However, this is red because we haven't got the correct version. Basically, this is not the correct letter, but that's fine. We'll leave that for now because you don't actually know what it is. Right, as you may also be able to see, I'll close them messages. As you may also be able to see, there's loads of aircraft and things down here. However, we can't see any of the 46 aircraft that should be at Gatwick. For that, we need to go down here, click dot viz for visibility, and then your airport you're currently observing, which for me is Echo Golf Kilo Kilo for Gatwick. So once you select enter on that, you'll start to see some aircraft pop up. As you can see, quite a few aircraft at Gatwick. You also see this departure list start to fill up, and the arrival list start to fill up. Also got a thing from ATC. It tells us whenever someone close to us goes online. We can close that down just by double clicking the little bit there. If we wish to privately message an aircraft, so let's say Ryanair 151 Alpha, if we want to privately message them, we can go down here, click dot chat, and these little arrows here, go in the middle of them and type in the call sign, which is Ryanair 151 Alpha. Then click enter. As you'll see, we get a little chat come up here. We go in there, we can chat to them, but we're going to close that because we don't actually need that. Another thing you need to know, which you don't need to know now, but it's good for observing anyway, you can start to get used to it, is how to see flight plans. So obviously at the moment that's got no flight plan. However, this one, where it kind of has these numbers here, and it's like an A and a number, that's the squawk code that's been like automatically assigned to it when they put in their flight plan. So if we hover our mouse over that code and then right click, we'll get their flight plan come up. So I can't remember what airport that is, but we can see what airport they're going to, their alternate airport, cruising altitude, squawk that's been randomly selected for them, their cruising speed. You'll see the aircraft type is an A320, and you can see it's a light aircraft. That was heavy, there'd be a H there. We can see their en route time, fuel on board, departure, estimated time in Zulu. If you're in the UK, Zulu is 1 hour behind, so they're estimated to depart. But that says 7:45, it's actually 9:15 in the UK time. And we can see their flight plan. This is helpful when they start giving out flight plans, so you can have a click on there and see what ATC is talking about. You can still do that in aircraft like this. Click on their, right click on their aircraft type, and as you can see, we get this all come up. Also, for an aircraft like this, I don't know what that call sign is, so if we click on that, actually this is a bad example, that one doesn't show it. Let's say we didn't know what this call sign was, we could click on that, and down here, in these little brackets, it says what the call sign is, so what them 3 letters mean. So that call sign is United 1712, and so on. You don't know what this means, click on that, Shamrock 182, and so on. Now let's start up the audio, because as you'll notice, we actually can't hear anyone. So we're going to get our audio for Vatsim. I'm going to expand this with that little arrow going down, expand it. I'm going to bring it to the middle, then click connect. It uses euroscope, so it knows our call sign. You can see we're now connected as JH_obs for observer. However, we still can't hear anything, obviously, because we need to select the ATC that we want to observe. So if we go to this add here, we're going to select the ATC call sign, which we want to observe, which is Echo Golf Kilo Kilo underscore GND for ground. Then click the tick. And then from there you can see different things for Gatwick. I'd recommend starting off either observing ground or delivery. Personally, ground's more fun though, so we're going to hit RX on that so that we start receiving on it. Don't hit TX, that means transmitting, so that means you'll be talking on that frequency, which you're not allowed to do unless you have the rating to do so. So we're going to click RX, and then we should start to hear things.
For Juliet 4, runway 08 right, via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Romeo and Juliet.
Juliet 4 via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Romeo and Juliet is E1 November Tango.
Okay, so now we've heard that, let me explain some things about audio for Vatsim. Normally, I don't have it expanded like that, it takes up too much screen, so we're going to close that, or minimise it a little bit, not minimise it down here, but make it smaller. And I always put it in the bottom right here. So here we can see a few different things. So we can see our frequency that we're on. In case we need to tell anyone to contact us, we know that's our frequency. Because that's the last received frequency. So that's the frequency you're transmitting on, basically, or you're listening to. We can also see our last received call sign. So let's say someone's mic isn't that good, you can only pick up roughly what they're saying. So let's say someone's saying Easy 19 November Tango, press push and start. You might not hear the first bit, so you might not hear that call sign. But here you can have a look at that and you can see their call sign. And then we can try and locate Easy 19 November Tango in the massive amount of people here. So we can find them there. And then we can see basically what aircraft they are. So it's quite easy if you're doing other things as well. You just hear the message, you can then go and see their call sign. Let's go ahead and reconnect to that and let's do some observing.
With taxi holding point Juliet 4, runway 08 right, via Quebec Alpha, Romeo and Juliet.
Wait for the call back.
Easy 225, clear to taxi following Quebec Alpha Juliet.
Easy 225, just to confirm that's holding point at Juliet 4, taxiing via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Romeo and Juliet.
EC552 radio check.
Easy 552, readability 5.
Easy 225, clear to taxi, hold short of runway, hold short following Juliet for Quebec Alpha and Juliet.
Easy 225, I'll send you the routing in text.
Okay, so we've seen
Thank you.
a few things happen there. So we can see someone struggling. As we can hear, ATC is very helpful. They're trying to help them out and they're going to give them in text as well. So basically, as you may notice, not all the taxiways are marked as you will see in the charts. You do kind of have to learn it or use these holding points. So you can see this is Romeo 1. So we know this taxiway here is a Romeo. Then we can see this is Quebec 1. So we know this taxiway here is Quebec. Then after a bit of learning, just observing for a bit, we can learn that this and this is Kilo. We learn that this is Quebec Alpha. And that this is Lima. We also know that this is Alpha November. Obviously this is Alpha Mike Whiskey. I believe this is Zulu. I know correct that this is Zulu. We can see this is Tango, Uniform, Sierra, and so on. So you can see, let's go through the taxi clearance given to Easy 225 here as an example. So they were given clearance to taxi, so holding point Juliet 4, which is here. And they're going to taxi via Quebec Alpha, which is here. and then Lima, which is this, and then Romeo down here, and then Juliet. So this whole bit down here, as you can see, the holding point's Juliet, Juliet, all down here. This is all Juliet. So taxi via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Romeo, and Juliet to Juliet 4. So their route will be from here, follow the mouse, down here, down Romeo, and then take a right turn for them onto Juliet and hold here at Juliet 4. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also check all the links in the description so you can see all the downloads and things that we're going to need for this. As always, thank you for watching and I hope to see you again shortly. Bye bye.